The problem is, in part, there's just a major problem about the Haitian state. What is the Haitian state going to look like? Obviously, I mean, that's been an issue that people have been dealing with for some time, and even before the earthquake, there was a substantial UN presence and NGOs and so forth. So all of those kinds of issues that were there before the earthquake are only exacerbated by the major blow that the Haitian state has structurally received, really to the core, since many of its buildings have been destroyed and so forth. So there's going to be a real question about what the interlocutors are, how the Haitian state is going to interact with others. I mean, the state, the institution, the people are still there, but how the infrastructure is going to work is a big question. I would say more broadly, one really has to think about Haiti in a complicated way, in the sense that there are all kinds of forms of organization beyond the state. The state is actually very, in some ways, very limited in its reach within Haiti, certainly in terms of schools, services, and many other things. Haiti is an extremely privatized society. Most things are done through private trade. So the question of what are the communities of action, how does aid get to particular neighborhoods? It's very clear already that there's a really different set of experiences between different neighborhoods in Haiti based on where they are and how they're seen from the outside. So very, very important questions about who the interlocutors are for assistance and what that assistance is particularly geared towards. What is going to be done? What is the purpose of that assistance? All those are very big and open questions. And in a sense, the earthquake just raises the stakes and really perhaps opens up the possibility for a real rethinking of some of those things as well. In a way, I mean, although there's been ongoing problems in the last couple of years, I would say that before the earthquake, there was, in some ways, some positive developments. Many people felt like things were going on a better track. It's been a very, very difficult couple of decades in Haiti, obviously. So in some ways, maybe some of that can get recovered. I mean, I think a lot of people, it's just such a massive tragedy, and that the loss of life is so tremendous, as well as just the loss, the transformation of the city. It's hard to think. In some ways, it's really hard to see forward right now, but obviously there may be an opportunity for people to think differently about the delivery of services, about how neighborhoods are constructed, and also about how those neighborhoods are organized. I mean, I think, as always, it's the best case scenario will be if there's a real kind of collaboration with grassroots, with people in communities themselves who can kind of express and find their aspirations, voice their aspirations in the project of rebuilding, so that the communities that they have are the kinds of communities they want to live in. Obviously, there's been a problem with basic services in a lot of neighborhoods in Port-au-Prince. If that could be addressed in reconstruction, that would obviously be an incredibly helpful thing. Issues about water and sewage and basic kind of infrastructural issues would be excellent. But there's a larger question about what role is the government going to play, and how is the government going to intersect with many outside agencies that are now involved. We've already seen there's a great deal of confusion at times about who's doing what, and those are serious questions that could really, and if there's debate or struggle in that way, it could really undermine how much of this aid really helps, profoundly helps the Haitian people. This is a question, Aristide actually demanded the same thing before his overthrow, and there was a whole commission set up in France to study the question. Perhaps a cynic will be maybe not surprised that they decided that they shouldn't provide direct reparations, but that they, of course, had a responsibility to provide aid. Although not as much as the United States, France does provide, a lot of aid to Haiti and has for some time. They're very invested, in particular, notably in cultural realms in Haiti. There's no doubt that might be one claim to make. At the same time, Haiti is a country that has had kind of the misfortune, right, of being colonized twice in a certain way. This is they won independence from France, and then 120 years later were then conquered by, occupied by the United States. People even refer to the 1934 moment as the second independence of Haiti. They had to get their independence twice. But those kinds of experiences mean that while, of course, many people welcome, and of course many elites have often worked with outsiders, there's a real sense of a question about, what are the intentions of outsiders? What ultimately are they trying to do? I think there's a sense that obviously people want to have help and collaboration, but the terms upon which those relationships are worked out is very important. And I do think there's a kind of worry I have in some ways is that I think people need to really kind of understand Haitian society and history and culture quite well as they go in and address these needs. Otherwise, it's very easy for there to be misunderstandings and conflicts.